Welcome back to my mini-series on what to expect at Army Basic Training in 2021 amid the coronavirus pandemic. This is episode 2 where I'm going to deep dive into the reception battalion before you actually start Army Basic Training. So stay tuned. Here we go! What's up everybody? Welcome back here to Team Swartz, and if this is your first time here, welcome to my channel. Here I post a ton of Army Basic Training tips, recruiting, and other Army-related videos. I also go live weekly addressing your most desired questions and address your concerns. And with that being said, reception is your very first stop before you actually officially start your Army Basic Training experience. Typically, reception lasts about 2 to 5 business days, not including the weekends. Your pickup day generally is Friday and Mondays. So providing that you complete all your tasks during that week, you will be either going to basic training that Friday or Monday. The very first thing you will do before anything else is your COVID test. Provided that you test negative, you will move on with your reception process. However, if you test positive or in close proximity of somebody else who tests positive, as previously described, you will go into quarantine or isolation up to 10 to 14 days minimally. The second thing that you will do is your Amnesty brief and shakedown of everything you brought with you to Army Basic Training. I highly suggest that you don't bring a lot of items. I'll post a card up here and in the description area below my Team Swartz suggested packing list. Do not take that laundry list that your recruiter is going to give to you of 1,000,001 things, right? You should not look like you're going on vacation is what I'm saying. Everything that you bring with you should fit into a cinch bag or a small backpack. So definitely check that out. I will be doing an updated version very soon. So during the amnesty brief, your drill sergeant is going to brief to you some prohibited items or things that are considered contraband, like mouthwash with alcohol, weapons, drugs, so on and so forth. Whatever it may be, get rid of it now. There is no questions asked. You will not get in trouble for whatever it is that you submit or turn in. At this moment, once you finish your shakedown and your amnesty brief, if you are caught with a prohibited item or something that's considered contraband, you will face UCMJ punishment possibly, or at the very least, negative action, okay? Get rid of it. From here, you are going to complete an emergency contact card along with your briefing about Red Cross. Red Cross is the only organization that can reach out to us to inform us of any true emergency with your immediate family members. Your immediate family members, according to the Army, are your biological parents or legal guardians and your siblings. Not your grandparents, your cousins, or your friend, or a life coach or a mentor. Your immediate family members. That's it. In the event that there is a true emergency, you will be briefed on how they need to contact the Red Cross directly, who will contact your chain of command here at the training site, and your leadership here will make that determination on whether you are going to be authorized to go back home for a couple of days to handle business. After this, you are going to receive your Army-issued uniform, either the PT uniform, your physical training uniform, or the uniform I'm wearing now, which is your ACU or your OCPs, right? Your Army combat uniform, essentially. So with that being said, typically you will receive your PT uniform. Along with that, you will receive your eye protection or eye pro, which are safety glasses essentially, earplugs, sunscreen, and now due to COVID, hand sanitizer. You will also receive your Camelback or your water source that you will wear on your back, kind of like a backpack, which will be with you at all times. Do not get caught not having your water source. You will also receive your Blue Book, which is going to be your Bible at Army Basic Training, and at your convenience, I will put the link down below, whether you have an Android device or an iOS device, either a PDF or a mobile version of this book down in the description area. If you are not physically engaged in anything and you are literally just sitting around waiting or doing something and you're not actively engaged, you will bury your face in that book. So over the next few days, because it will vary for people, whether it's, like I said, it will last between 2 to 5 business days. So with that being said, I'm not going to go in day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5. I will just simply express to you the different stations that you will be going through throughout this time at your reception battalion. You will go through military record keeping department, where you will go over your shipper's packet. You are going to fill and complete a zillion forms, so get used to it. Know your social security number. Memorize it before you leave. You need to know your social. They will ensure that if you are married and or have dependents, they will make sure that you go through the DEER's office to make sure that they're enrolled into TRICARE and all the great benefits and features that are offered to you and your family are allotted to you. They will go through your financial records, making sure that your direct deposit form is complete and all that good stuff, ensuring that you get paid on the 1st and the 15th. So while you're in training full-time or on active duty throughout the rest of your active duty career, we get paid on the 1st and the 15th. So if for some reason your SF1199 is not included in your shipper's packet, at least have written down somewhere, either on your phone, preferably a notepad that you can keep in your pocket, your routing number and account number to your bank account. You will go to the pay station to receive your CAT card, which we kind of refer to as your military ID card. You will receive your SMART card or Eagle card, which is essentially a cash advance of $350 that will expire within the first 90 days of you being issued this SMART card. You are highly encouraged to spend it all within that time period, but if you don't, whatever remaining balance exists will be put back into your direct deposit. That SMART card will be used when you go to the Troop Exchange to buy your running shoes, personal hygiene products, laundry detergent, notebooks, stamps, envelopes, pens, watches, anything that you're going to need for Army basic training, to include towels, washcloths, PT socks, so on and so forth. If for some reason you do not have the ability to purchase running shoes dependent on your footprint, whether you are flat-footed, normal arc, or high arc, right? I highly suggest that you ship out feeling comfortable and wearing running shoes or cross trainers, because like I said, if you don't get it then at the troop store and they wait until you complete yellow phase, during those first 2.5 weeks, including reception, if you are receiving corrective training or conducting PRT, physical readiness training, your PT for the day, you will be doing them whether you're wearing cowboy boots, dress shoes, semi-casual, it doesn't matter. So be smart, ship out in something comfortable that you don't mind getting dirty and working out in. Here they will receive your direct deposit, inputting your routing and account number, making sure that you get your pay locked in. So just because you filled out and completed your SF1199 does not mean your direct deposit is actually set up. Even if you belong to the National Guard or Army Reserve and you already have it set up in your MyPay system, that's separate because that is in a reserve component. You are now on active duty and they now need to re-register you for your active duty pay. With that being said, depending on what day of the month that you actually ship out to basic training and when you actually get through the pay station while you're at the reception battalion, because you might get isolated or quarantined, expect not to get paid for at least a month. So plan accordingly, especially if you have dependents and responsibility back home. Highly suggest to set up auto pay or post-date checks for like rent or something like that, so that your landlord can cash in that check when your rent is due for the next month or two. So at some point, you're going to go to the CIF or the Centralized Issuing Facility where you receive the rest of your uniforms, equipment, anything you would need for Army basic training. Basic training hack, you can put your blue book inside your camelback so you have both of those with you at all times. And when you get issued your ID tags, those will always be on with you along with your CAT card. CIF, you're going to be issued combat boots, your ID tags, name tapes, rank, anything that is due to you to get you through Army basic training, you will receive at this time. This is a basic training hack, okay? And heed my warning and advice. I don't give an F what your drill sergeant says or that civilian who's issuing you your combat boots. If your combat boots do not fit you, like they are too loose or way too tight, regardless of what that civilian says, and I don't care if your drill sergeant pops up in there, be like, "Pry, you gotta keep it moving. Let's go, trainee." I don't care. Get fitted correctly. Make sure your boots fit comfortably. They're not too big or too tight. They are just right. Hopefully your drill sergeant will back you up and make sure that you have the proper boot. Do not take no for an answer. I don't care if you got to do push-ups later. It is worth it, because if you don't have the appropriate size boot, you will receive massive blisters. Hashtag I'm just saying. You will receive your ID tags and the all new pinks and greens, the new dress uniform. Mine are on order and I personally cannot wait to get them. They look sharp. They are amazing. Not gonna lie though, in the beginning, I did not like them at all, but they grew on me and I freaking love them. And when I do get them, I'll do a thorough, epic B-roll video. You will do another mini medical, which is just a general medical exam with blood work. Females will actually draw blood twice. The first day will be for pregnancy, the next day will be your normal blood work. You also go through an extensive eye exam. If you have glasses and you have an updated version of your prescription, bring it with you. That's great. If you don't, however, they can take your glasses, put it on the machine, and figure out what your prescription are, and they're going to issue you 2 sets of glasses to include inserts that you can put inside your gas mask later on when you receive it. You're not authorized to wear your civilian glasses, and oftentimes civilian glasses are super expensive. Depending on your unique situation, if you could not afford glasses but should be wearing glasses, they will be doing, like I said, a very thorough eye exam, and if warranted, they will issue you and prescribe to you, like I said, glasses. You are not authorized to wear contacts, not during basic training. When you do go to AIT, you can wear your contact glasses. However, if you're going to the field, your field training exercise, or doing something crazy like that, do not wear your contacts. Wear your military-issued glasses. There are other eye exams that they're going to be conducting, like the glaucoma test and other types of eye illnesses or diseases that they're going to be checking for. I saw an influx. I've been recruiting for over 16 years. Recently, in the last 3 to 4 years, I've been seeing an influx of people being discharged from the reception battalion at basic training due to some of these eye exams identifying eye deficiencies. So don't be surprised if that happens to you. May the medical gods forever be in your favor. You will also do a dental exam to include a panoramic x-ray that goes around your head, checking all your teeth. If you have minor work that needs to get done, like a cavity, it will get done at this time. Or if you have wisdom teeth, they will get removed then or at a later date throughout your reception process or during Army basic training. If you are Army National Guard or Army Reserve and you in fact have dental insurance and would rather go through your regular civilian dentist, they usually allow you to decide to do that on your own when you go back home. But if you don't and you want to get it done for free, please do so. You will also be issued a mouth guard in which you will be required to wear during certain basic training activities. You will receive a series of briefings so that you have an understanding of the benefits that are afforded to you because you enlisted into the United States Army. Now, there are multiple GI Bills, Montgomery GI Bills, right? There's the post 9/11 for you active duty folks, and then you have the 1606 Reserve Montgomery GI Bill for us reservists and National Guard soldiers. They're going to break down to you how all that works and all that good stuff. The GI Bill is essentially a scholarship program to offset the additional costs for college, like books, fees, so on and so forth. They will also break down to you your SGLV, or your small group life insurance. Unlike other life insurance policies, this is a term life insurance. So once you leave the military, it's gone. It is the best one on the market. It doesn't matter if you commit suicide, you don't wear your seatbelt, you get into a car accident, so on and so forth, on or off duty, you are 100% covered up to $400,000. They will break it down to you. You're going to have to sign a form for it. You will be charged up to $29 for this service. It may sound expensive to you. I don't care. If you elect not to get it, I do not recommend that at all. Get at least $50,000 worth of coverage. And it's very, very minimal. It's just a few dollars, okay? During these briefings, you will be provided a moment of truth, that you will watch a video, and anything that you need to disclose that you failed to mention throughout your entire process, either your recruiter told you not to say anything or you didn't bring it up, this is the moment that they want you to disclose it. Understand, you may get discharged as a result. So hopefully you did the right thing, you were honest, you were forthright, and you did it the right way. You will also receive a general orientation of specific leadership and departments throughout your basic training experience. One of them being your chaplain or religious figure. They'll talk about what their role is, the do's and don'ts, and so on and so forth. You will get a more detailed briefing on the Red Cross message, as previously described, that your family will have to execute in order to be able to possibly bring you home to handle that true emergency for your immediate family members. They will talk to you about the UCMJ, or the Uniformed Code of Military Justice, essentially military law. Unlike civilian law, where you are innocent until proven guilty, in the military, you are guilty until proven innocent. And regardless if you are proven innocent, will be on your permanent record forever. Don't do it, Pry. Follow the rules. You know, when you're coloring as a kid, stay in between the lines. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, I see you, Jimmy. I see you. Color in between the lines, because I'll cancel Christmas on your butt. They will also go over some local policies that you will also follow, which are basically rules, guidelines, and regulations. And they will also give you some advice on how to handle your personal affairs. You will take a trip to the Troop Exchange and you will utilize your Eagle card or Smart card, that cash advance of $350 to make necessary purchases of items that you will need for basic training. You will be forced to purchase hygiene kits that typically come with a couple of locks, one for your wall locker, one for your personal drawer, notepads, and some other miscellaneous items that you will need for Army basic training to get you jump started today. This is that time that I mentioned earlier that you will purchase those running shoes for your footprint. Make sure that you purchase enough laundry detergent to get you through the first 2 weeks of Army basic training, because during those 2 weeks, those first 10 to 14 days while you're completing your yellow phase, you will not be typically allowed to go to the Troop Exchange to purchase personal hygiene items or anything else, because you're quarantining essentially, or controlled monitoring is what they're calling it, for 10 to 14 days, and they don't want to expose your potential illness to anyone else. Cough drops is a big one, okay? Do not bring cough drops with you. If you do, they have to be the generic ones, not the fruity, flavorful, awesome tasting cough drops. They got to be the generic cough drop, cough medicine tasting horrible cough drops. But they're going to be like candy to you at Army basic training, and they could be used as currency. I'm not saying that they do or don't, but you know, trainees tend to use cough drops as a form of, hey, I'll give you 10 cough drops or this bag of cough drops if you do my fire guard tonight, which we'll cover in a later video. I personally say to make sure you bring envelopes and stamps at minimum. You can purchase the notepads, pens, and all that stuff at the Troop Exchange while going through this process, but usually, typically, they'll run out of stamps like that. Do not go to Army basic training wearing a smartwatch or something you gotta plug in to charge, like this Fenix 6 watch or anything like that, or an Apple Watch, and so on and so forth. Get yourself a normal watch. Make sure it's all black, all green, all right, a nice neutral color that goes along with this uniform. If you watch my COVID packing list, you'll get the explanation in there. I suggest that you also purchase a Velcro, cheesy, childish wallet. One that you're not going to care if it gets wet, ruined, ripped, torn, anything like that. Also, the reason why the Velcro is great is if you end up purchasing a lock that has a key, instead of wearing it around your ID tags, or dog tags as we like to refer them as, you can place that key inside your wallet, and because it's Velcroed, it's nice and secure and safe. I suggest that you give your spare key to your drill sergeant, and they may request it as well, because it may be protocol or their local SOP, your standard operating procedure. Females, make sure you purchase enough feminine products. You know what I mean. You know what I mean. Good enough as you think that you'll need. You will also be forced to purchase specific colored towels and washcloths for your basic training and AIT experience. You will also receive all your vaccinations. There are 6 of them that I will put here on the screen, to include your 7th one eventually, which is your COVID vaccine. Only you will be authorized to get it. If you're active duty, your family can get it later on, so on and so forth. But when it becomes available at the basic training site, somewhere between March and June is what they're projecting. As of right now, under the emergency use, it is all volunteer. Eventually, I foresee it being a mandated vaccine, similar to the flu shot, which is mandated to us to get and receive on an annual basis. But until it becomes mandatory, it is optional. Due to COVID, initially haircuts were canceled, and you would not see or get or receive a haircut until after you've completed your controlled monitoring, commonly known as yellow phase. However, not all basic training sites are affording haircuts. You may not get around to it, and you may have to wait until after you're completed controlled monitoring. So my advice to you is, if you can afford it, get yourself a haircut that is within Army standards. You don't have to. It's encouraged that you do, right? You want to stand out without standing out, because if you stand out looking like you belong to a Metallica band and you're rocking it out like crazy, you're going to get unnecessary attention from your drill. So I highly suggest that you're somehow within regulation. You don't have to go with the baldy, but at least be within regulation. Females, make sure your hair is of a natural color. Do not go there with blue highlights, red highlights. It's got to be of a natural hair color. Do not go in there with a weave. You're going to have to get it removed. So just do right by yourself. Go natural. If your hair is dyed with like blonde highlights or something, re-dye it to your natural hair color. Once you graduate, you could follow the Army regulation following AR 670-1. In fact, there was a lot of recent updates that work in your favor, okay? But for basic training, go back to your natural hair color. Because let's say it is highlighted. Halfway through basic training, you're gonna have your hair color and the highlights behind it, and it's just gonna make you look like a soup sandwich and not be within Army regulation. Here you will also conduct your basic training photo wearing the dress uniform or this uniform. You will also be afforded the opportunity to prepay for, let's say, a yearbook, the basic training video, because there's a videographer that goes out throughout your basic training, and they culminate that into one DVD or thumb drive or link that you could download at a later date to include a class ring and some other things that you could waste your money on. And your last day of processing is to make sure that you tie up any loose ends. If you had any documentation that were needed to obtain or to complete or any other part of your reception process, this is the day that you knock it out. If you fail to knock anything out during this time frame, everyone else is gonna move on without you, and you're gonna stay into the following week, prolonging your process through the reception battalion. For me, and many can attest to this, your reception process is going to be part of the worst part of your basic training experience. You're going to be tired, you're going to be bored, you're going to be told what to do, when to do, and all that good stuff. You're going to be walking through all these stations, zigzagging through these nice organized lines, right? And you're going to feel like a bunch of cattle just walking through. This is a bonus tip that I do not want you to take lightly. This is extremely important and more prevalent at the beginning of basic training during COVID, right? During like March through like June of last year, when a crap ton of training was canceled. People that were expecting to ship out got their ship dates canceled. And many of them had quit their jobs. I don't give a flying F if you are active duty, Army National Guard, or Army Reserve. Do not quit your job. If you want to find a different job later, fine, but you're protected up to 5 years by federal law. Take a military leave of absence. You can find this information on esgr.mil. I'll post a link down below for you to check out for yourself that lists the employer and the employee's rights. So many people lost their jobs because they quit thinking that they were shipping out and put themselves into a financial hardship. So please, heed this warning. Do not quit your job, please. And with that being said, drop a hashtag Team Swords down in the comment section below, letting me know that you are my ride or die real MVP Team Swords squad member, letting me know that you watched this video all the way through. Most importantly, please like this video. Let me know that you liked my tips and insights and all that good stuff. And if you don't like it, that's fine too. Give me a thumbs down. Engagement is engagement. I'll see you next time. Hold up! Wait a minute. Like this video and follow me on social. And while you're at it, go ahead and check out one of my other videos right over here. Just pick one. They're pretty cool. I mean, I liked it. I mean, I was in it. Spoiler alert. I teach you something. Just saying.